The Springboks defeated Italy in what can only be described as pure resilience by the Springboks, defeating Italy with 14 men, managing to score 32-14. But of course, the biggest talking point is still the red card, the controversial red card, and rightly so. It's being discussed by players, by coaches, by fans, because I think we as fans and everyone observing the game is quite concerned. How can they get this wrong? How can they get this wrong? Is it a matter of oversight? Is it a matter of incompetence by the officials? Or is it even worse, a matter of maybe corruption, the Springboks being targeted? And I know we don't like to talk about this in the game of rugby. We like to keep it as just the rugby. We enjoy the rugby, and that's what we want to talk about. But I'm going to be honest, the more I analyze this situation and the more I watch, other videos and even just sort of break down this match, and even recent events, the more I'm starting to wonder, what is really going on? What's really going on? I mean, take for example this situation with Franco Mostert, where he got a direct red card, a permanent red card, a situation that could have easily been given a yellow card with an off-field review to give the TMO enough time to review it, was given a permanent red card from the goal. I think for me, what's quite strange about the situation is the first person who jumps in is the TMO, the French TMO. And I have to mention that it is the French TMO because I think it's quite significant. His name is Tuol Tranini, and he jumps in and tells the referee to say, I want to show you an instant of direct head contact. That's how he stops the game in the 11th minute. Now, if you look at the tackle that Franco Mostert made, I would like to hear from you or for you to decide, does this look like direct head contact? Because from every angle you look at this, it's clear contact to the chest and not to the head. Of course, with the whiplash that the ball carrier has, he ends up making contact to the shoulder. But that means that it's an indirect head contact, not a direct head contact. But somehow the TMO and the referees come to the conclusion that it's a direct head contact. So it's deserving of a red card, a permanent red card. So not even a 20-minute red card, which I suppose, although it would have also been extreme, but it could have been acceptable. But this is a permanent red card. I don't know, despite the fact that there's mitigating factors of Franco Mostert being as tall as he is, seeking to go quite low, and obviously tackling the player against the chest, but somehow it's a permanent red card. Okay, fine, that happens. My issue is that despite that happening, very similar instances or incidences rather, happen in the rest of the game that are very similar to the Franco Mostert instance, but somehow they're being ignored. So, for example, the Marco van Staden tackle, very similar to the Franco Mostert tackle. In fact, I would say this Marco van Staden tackle is even worse. This does look like contact to the head. What's interesting to me is that the referee actually asked the TMO to check this tackle if it's a legal tackle, if there was hands involved in this tackle. Did the player attempt to wrap his hands around Marco van Staden? The TMO immediately, without hesitation, says it has been checked and it is legal. Without actually checking, it's an immediate response. I'm like, okay. We look at the Kenan Moody incidents where he goes for the ball in the air, but the Italian player clearly tackles him in the air, And once again, Sia Colisi actually raises this to the referee and says, could this please be checked? And then somehow the team gets to the conclusion that they were both going for the ball. I'm like, you look at this instance and tell me if you really think they were both going to the ball. Because from what I can see, it looks like the Italian player was going for Kanan Moody's legs. That's all. And that's very obvious. In fact, it was being played on the screen, but somehow it's being ignored, you know. So I don't know, man. It even got to a point, there were so many decisions that Sia Kolisi had to raise, had to query, that he even got to a point where he was saying, he called out the TMO and said he believes that there's thuggery happening. Now, Sia Kolisi is a very calm, person, very calm person. But for him to get to a point where he's saying all the calls are going against the Springboks, what is going on? And honestly speaking, we were wondering the same thing. What is going on? You guys let me know your thoughts in the comment section. I don't think it's a matter of necessarily wanting to play victim, but it's like even in other games, the type of tackles that are, made, they're far worse than this tackle that Franco Mostert made, but somehow he got a direct red card, In fact, even the Italian coach went on to say he was very surprised and he does not believe that it should have been a red card. I don't know, man. I don't know. I think seeing recent events with the banning of Springbok players the past couple of weeks, Jan-Hendrik Wessels, we know how that incident was also very controversial. Mapimpi being banned for 6 weeks. Last week's incident in the game against France where we got a red card. It just feels like the Springboks may actually be targeted. I know some people are quick to dismiss it, but it's like, man, what is going on? The Springboks probably can't say it, but we as fans, we have to discuss, especially going into the game against Ireland. The game against Ireland is a huge game. It's a huge game. And we can't afford to be having these kind of things happening, So let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Do you think the Springboks are being targeted? Do you think there's some level of corruption? Or is it just a matter of maybe oversight or incompetence? I would definitely love to hear from you guys. If you have not done so already, please like and subscribe. It really helps the channel quite a lot. I will see you in the next video.